Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today we continue looking at cards from the new set, Murders at Karlov Manor. Today's victim? None other than the hostess herself, Teysa, Opulent Oligarch. If you're enjoying my content, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and if you liked the deck list, consider sharing this video as well. Teysa, Opulent Oligarch is a 3-mana 2/3 legendary human advisor with Death Touch. At the beginning of our end step, we investigate for each opponent who lost life this turn. Additionally, whenever a clue we control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, we create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. But this ability only triggers once each turn. But that restriction shouldn't be a problem, since we're playing Commander. We can just crack a clue on each of our opponent's turns and make a bunch of creatures. Now, Teysa is considered one of the most powerful Aristocrats commanders in the game. I consider Teysa Karlov to be the second best Orzhov Aristocrats commander out there, only barely edged out by Teysa Forgotten Angel. But this version of Teysa didn't scream Aristocrats to me. Yes, we're sacrificing clue tokens, but that's it. So rather than try to build an Aristocrats deck, I decided to build a Life Drain deck instead. Maybe a little bit of stacks, a little bit of life gain, but mostly we're looking to suck the life out of our opponents. Decadently, of course. We're Orzhov, darling, not Gruul. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Oligarch. In addition to deck boxes and sleeves, Boulder also makes this beautiful mat pod. My issue with pods has always been the shape. I keep expecting them to roll off the table. But this one, with its ingenious shape, doesn't roll, at least very far. If you're tired of your mats getting damaged when they're stuffed into your backpack, consider picking up a mat pod from your local game store, or click on the link down below to visit Oligarch's Amazon store. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. One last announcement before we get into our video. I've been invited to attend MagicCon Chicago. Unfortunately, I'm very short on funds and probably won't be able to make it. If you'd like to help me and my kid, the one who convinced me to get back into Magic, travel to the Windy City in order to play this February, consider joining my Patreon. Even if it's just for a month of support, it would mean a lot. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Marsh Flats, Arid Mesa, Verdant Catacombs, Godless Shrine, Vault of Champions, Shattered Sanctum, Isolated Chapel, Shadowy Backstreet, Snowfield Sinkhole, Sunlit Marsh, Tainted Field, Caves of Koilos, Bright Climb Pathway, Orzhov Basilica, Bajuka Bog, 10 Plains, and 10 swamps make up our land base. Now, if you're on a budget, you can replace the more expensive lands with cheaper tap lands, or budget mana-fixing lands like Evolving Wilds. Bontu's Monument, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Hierarchy, Orzhov Signet, Mind Stone, Thought Vessel, Decanter of Endless Water, Marble Diamond, Charcoal Diamond, Solemn Simulacrum, Smothering Tithe, Black Market Connections, and Life Insurance help us to stay ahead of the curve. Again, if you're on a budget, replace Smothering Tithe and Black Market Connections with Wayfarer's Bauble and Burnished Heart. Archivist of Ogma, Redemption Choir, Sun Titan, Twilight Prophet, Tomic Wielder of Law, Read the Bones, Sign in Blood, Night's Whisper, Victimize, Greed, and Phyrexian Arena help us to dig through our deck and find answers. I deliberately did not include any tutors in this list, and most of these cards are relatively affordable. Authority of the Consuls, Blind Obedience, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Anguished Unmaking, Despark, Mortify, Fracture, Generous Gift, Utter End, Stroke of Midnight, Heliod's Intervention, and Vanishing Verse help us to keep our opponents in line. Farewell, Damn, Fumigate, and Toxic Deluge help us to reset the board as needed. Veto, Thorn of the Duskrose, Sanguine Bond, Exquisite Blood, Kumbal, Console of Allocation, Suture Priest, Sangromancer, Laisa, Shroud of Dusk, Archon of Cruelty, Painful Quandary, Retreat to Hagra, Obnixilis Unshackled, Gixian Puppeteer, Cliffhaven Vampire, Epicure of Blood, Nightshade Harvester, Bloodletter of Alkazots, Indulging Patrician, Astarion the Decadent, Pontiff of Blight, and Ink Shield make up the core of our deck and how we plan on winning. Now that we have our deck list, we can compare it to our checklist. 51 mana sources split between 37 lands and 14 pieces of ramp. A little heavy, but we need the extra mana to crack a bunch of clues every turn cycle. 12 pieces of card advantage, counting our commander. 13 pieces of interaction. 4 board wipes. 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Bojuka Bog and Farewell. 1 sudden I win card in Heliod's Intervention. We have several effects in the deck that cause our opponents to lose life or take damage whenever we gain life. So if we have 1 or 2 of those on board and then cast a giant Heliod's Intervention, we can win the game out of nowhere. We also have the infinite combo of Sanguine Bond and Exquisite Blood. Now, I know that some playgroups frown on infinite combos, but remember, we're not running any tutors, so that should be fine, right? Also, quick note on infinite combos. There are about 50,000 magic cards. If you take the top 10% of those, not just the best cards in the game, but the ones that see a lot of play, and pick out one of them, chances are it can be used in either an infinite combo or a game-winning combo. But there's a difference between having a combo or 2 in your deck and building your entire deck around utilizing that specific combo. When you sit down at a table with new players, let them know that yes, you have a couple of combos in the deck, but you're not running any tutors to find those combos. I guarantee you that most casual players won't mind. And if they do, just take them out first. Are you building a Teysa Opulent Oligarch deck? What direction are you taking the deck list? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. For only $25, you too can have a Commander video built at your request. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Borky, Nazwin, Pedro, Tom, Midge, Lucius, Detroff, Rally, Frank, Alex, and Jenny. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.